Hello and welcome back to my channel, and I am back today with a plan with me in my personal size rings. It's been a while since I have actually planned in my planner. As some of you may know, my mother passed away on August 26th. I flew home on August 25th. And so I really haven't been putting out much content. I got back here to California on September 4th, so it was a long visit at home. It was emotionally and mentally draining and exhausting, but I think I'm ready to. I can't stand to have my planner pages just blank anymore, so these are my inserts that I have. I'm going to be using a kit from SLO Planning called Autumn Skies. And it's like a rose gold foil, I do believe. You have your days of the week and your date dots. Then you have your picture boxes. Well, maybe it's just a gold foil. But I really loved this kit when she released it, so I picked it up. Love all the functional boxes. Here are some more boxes and some headers. Here you have some functional boxes, Monday through Sunday, habit trackers, bills to do. And then you have a few more headers to do, flags, scripts, more of your functional boxes and icons. And then this page has, I think these are glitter headers and some foiled washi. And then I went through my washi and picked out a few that I thought would go well with this kit. I picked out this brown. It has bows on it. It's not Simply Gilded. I don't know where it's from. Here is just some with leaves. Here is a brown and tan and blue plaid. But it really goes well with the blues that are in here and the browns. Then this one is from Simply Gilded. It's just like it's like a black or dark gray with orange foiled pumpkins and leaves. And then this is a little more daintier, not as fallish, but it really goes well with this kit, I think. And then I also pulled out some just autumn stickers from different shops. This one is autumn fall quotes from Charlotte's Paper Company. We have some Jolly Sticks, leaves. We have verycutedesigns.com, some little headers. Here we have some coffee and desserts. Here's some Jolly Sticks, some leaf headers, and here's some more leaf headers. Here is some acorn headers, a couple of ghosts. This was Jolly Sticks freebie last year, so I have it. Pumpkin spice, it's fall, you all. And I pulled this fall kit from Planner Monkey Co. It has all the right colors. This is from the October 2021 subscription. But this just gives you some extra little bits to plan with if you need them. Some planners, explanation points, some square bullets, computers. Here is some more leaves, and then the monkey, Macy the monkey. have some just colored splotches, some 3D boxes. It looks like a little Macy the monkey with a frappuccino. Some pumpkin spice. And then this is Coffee Planner Mom's $25 freebie. Has all kinds of fall goodies on it. Libby and Lou Sticker Co. This is from last year. It is their Black Friday. And it has some fall in it. Boutique Planning also has some fall goodies. What is Planning City? A couple more by Jolly Sticks. And then First Day of Autumn by plannerchick.com. So these are all just extras that we may use. This is my first time back to planning since I lost my mom. I don't know how decorative I'll get, but I'm gonna try. And I usually start with the washi, putting some down at the bottom. I can't remember if this is from Planning City, but I don't think I've used it yet. I did receive some gifts today, just like sympathy gifts, I guess. My family lives in Indiana, which was where my mom was when she passed. And so because I had to travel home by plane, I couldn't really bring flowers or anything. So some people sent me some things off of Amazon, some little goodies. One of them was a super pretty wind chime. And then also I got a like a tumbled rock quote, which I really like. But I was really surprised and pleasantly surprised because I wanted to keep some things from my mom's funeral, but I didn't have really a way to transport them home. And then let's use some of these leaves. So anyway, since I couldn't transport them home, they sent them by Amazon. And then some more of the pumpkin washi. Too many appointments this week, just a couple. the brown, the really thin brown, just up at the top. And then I'm also going to put the days of the week. And I usually start my week with Sunday. And the Sunday start. Leave me a comment down below. Are you a Sunday start or a Monday start? So let me tell you a little about what happened with my mother. She was admitted to the hospital like on August 20th. So I knew she wasn't feeling well, but she went downhill very quickly. In April, my mom had some heart tests. Her heart was perfectly fine and strong. And then the week of the 20th, she started having some issues where her heart rate was really low and she was in V-fib. Basically, what we've come to find out is they always thought there was some underlying issue, that it wasn't just, heart failure. Because my mom went really quick, and when she went into the hospital this time, her heart-like function was at 35%. So it wasn't, her heart wasn't pumping the blood, the oxygenated blood through her system, and removing the carbon dioxide. So I got a call on, let's see, it was the 24th, the morning of the 24th. All kinds of texts and calls were coming in at like 4 a.m. in the morning, so I knew something was up. When I got up and finally answered my phone, my sisters had called and told me that my mom was not doing well, and they suggested that I come home because they were unsure if she was going to make it. So I booked a flight right away. On the 24th, I flew out on the 25th and arrived home the afternoon of the 25th. It was the longest plane ride ever, because you know your mom's not doing well, and you hope you make it home before something happens. So it was very stressful. It was a long flight. I was in the air for about 6.5 hours. And so it was very stressful. And then because I left so suddenly, I wasn't able to contact my doctor to get, she usually gives me Ativan when I fly, just to calm down and not be so anxious. So I left so quickly, I was not able to contact my doctor when I was leaving. So I arrived home the afternoon of the 24th, went and saw my mom, my kids, I mean, my mom looked bad, but she wasn't, it didn't look like she was passing. But, let's use some of these picture boxes now. But so I arrived home on the 25th. 24 hours later, on the 26th, that morning, my dad had gone to see my mother, and you know, she was doing okay when he was there. My mom had told us girls, you know, that she's tired. First, when they told her I was coming home, her first words were, "Am I dying?" So she kind of knew something was up. And, so she told us girls to stay home. I have 2 sisters and a brother. She told us to stay home. We didn't need to come up to the hospital, because she was just tired. She wanted to rest. So we agreed to that. We were going to go up the next day. Well, later in the day, probably around 1 o'clock, my mom called, which she's not very good at using her cell phone, because she has a little bit of dementia now. And she called and she asked for us to please come up to the hospital, that she needed to be with us. So we agreed to do that. We all showered and got ready to go. We were going to get some lunch before we went at Captain D's, because they have hush puppies, and I don't get hush puppies in California. So we were on our way to get some lunch and hush puppies, and we received a call from the hospital that Mom's heart rate was 35, and she was not doing well. Heart rate should be anywhere from 70 to 80, you know, in there is normal. So my mom was struggling to breathe. When we got there, they were working on her. Of course, they called all the family, and so we ended up having to call the rest of the family and try to get to the hospital ASAP, because when they say your mom's not doing good, you don't really know how bad that is until you get there. And when we got there, they were working on her. They kept trying to get a blood sugar. My mom was in heart failure. Her heart was not pumping, and they could get no blood out of her fingers. It wasn't her diabetes that was acting up. You know, you just wanted to scream at them. It was, you know, it's heart failure. So once the family all got there, they worked on her for a little while. They were all working on her because her heart rate kept going down, and we were around her bed. We were pretty upset, crying, that kind of thing, understandably so. We had a nasty nurse that said, "Why doesn't everybody calm down and just gather around your mother?" Don't tell me to calm down when my mom's dying. You know, hello. But, so my mom was sitting up and she was laying back. She just kept moving because she was struggling to breathe. And, she kept telling them that, my mom's a DNR. She has, you know, a living will. She did not want to be intubated, or on any machine. She did not want to have dialysis. She had blood clots in her liver, and her kidneys were failing. And when my mom struggled to breathe, I told my sister, who is power of attorney, I said, "I can't watch her suffer. We have to help her." Well, the only help for her at that time was, we asked her if she wanted us to have everything stopped, and she said yes, that she was too tired to do it anymore. So my sister stopped everybody in her room and asked them to please step away from the bed and to please turn off the monitor and please get our mother some morphine and Ativan so that she's comfortable and doesn't have to suffer. Because my biggest fear was that she would panic because she couldn't breathe. And then we asked them to turn off the monitors, and we sat with Mother for probably, I would say 30 minutes to an hour. And at 4:22 p.m. on the Friday, August 26th, my mother passed away. So it was very traumatic. It was very, I'm not going to say peaceful, because there was a lot of tears. It was a lot of, we weren't ready for our mom to go. My mother was only 74 years old. 5 months ago, her heart was fine. Come to find out, when I got there, my mother had 1 week prior to passing away, my mother had her COVID booster. And she went very quickly from having a perfectly fine heart to being in heart failure, blood clots in her liver when she's on a blood thinner, and kidneys failing, things like that. So they listed her cause of death as cardiomyopathy, which is what many people have passed away from that get the COVID booster. And so that's kind of where we stood. I believe in my heart that it was the COVID booster that took my mom. Don't get me wrong, I just got my 5th shot today, another booster, and I would have never discouraged my mother from getting the vaccine. You just never know who's going to have a reaction to it. So yeah, it was a tough situation. What is this? Just a big header. No, it's not. So, and then after my mom passed, it was my parents had very, rocky, I guess you would say, unstable marriage. And one of the things that us kids remember the most is my parents fighting. And then when my mom started showing signs of dementia, she was very angry, but she was also very nasty and mean to my dad. And to watch my dad sit on the bed with her and hold her, hug her, kiss her, tell her that he loved her, was very much needed for us kids, I think. Nothing else at the moment mattered except that they loved each other. They had 5 kids actually, and they, at the end of the times, we needed to see that no matter what, my dad loved my mom, even though she had dementia and stuff. So that was really nice to see. We were allowed to stay with my mom for about 2 hours. They brought in a sympathy cart where they have snacks and drinks and all this stuff on it. Of course, we had to take all of her belongings home, and we called, or the nurse was supposed to have called the funeral home. Apparently that somebody dropped the ball on that one, because we did not want our mother to spend the night in the cold morgue at the hospital. It's just something we didn't want. We wanted her picked up by the funeral home so that she could go. They wouldn't have put her in the cold morgue. And even if they did, you know, they were Alden was very adamant that they were going to take care of Mom. They would cover her up. So we get up the next day on Saturday morning to call the funeral home to make an appointment to go in and make arrangements. And they informed us that they did not have our mother's body. So then we spent the next 30-40 minutes trying to locate our mother. And she was down in the hospital morgue because somebody had marked her chart as autopsy, which she was not. She didn't need an autopsy. She died of heart failure. So it was just, it was very rocky. The funeral home the funeral didn't go the way that we had wanted or planned. It was very simple. We're grateful for that, but there were a couple things that just didn't go as planned. And yeah, so my mom was buried on, oh gosh, what day was it? Thursday, the September 1st. And we had the entire week to be at home with family and, you know, all kinds of people visiting. So it was, I don't know. Grief is something, especially when you lose your mom, grief can be overwhelming. It can be very deep. I have deep grief. You know, and I live all the way in California. I didn't see my mom all the time. But just knowing now when I go back home and she won't be there when I get there, is very hard. But and my dad's having a really hard time. I mean, we all are. So that's just kind of what happened when my mom passed. And we spent, you know, a couple weeks getting her things in order, and of course the burial and the funeral, and we did a viewing the night before the funeral, which was 4 hours. It was like from 4 to 8. And a lot of people came through to see my parents, and that was nice to know and see that they were so loved. But it was also a lot. But we made it through, and then I flew back on September 4th. And literally since I flew back, I think I've been a hot mess every day. I cry every day. I wake up sometimes in the night crying. It's just, yeah, it's just a lot. She was a little to do. But that is the story of how my mother passed away, and you know, never in a million years, even none of us expected it, because her heart was so strong. So so it took us by a great surprise. I'm glad I didn't question it when my sisters asked me to come home. I'm glad I just booked a flight and went. because I would have regretted it forever if I hadn't. Okay, so we have trash and we have planning. Let's use some of these boxes. And yeah, and so Greg is laid off right now because his contract was not renewed, which is kind of a blessing in disguise because, of course, you want to be working, but it's at a time when I, need him to help me get through all of this. And so it's a blessing that he's not working every day right now. Let's see, we have trash day. And a trash can. And then we have a planner. And then I need one more box for a little bigger box. Let's see. For Sunday, and then we have Monday is the 12th. I have Erica coming that week. But it was nice to see so many people at my parents', at my mom's viewing. Some of them we knew, some of them we didn't. But yeah, keep me and my family in your prayers because nothing can prepare you for losing your mom. And it's a very deep grief. For probably 10 days, my heart hurt, literally, physically pained me. And then you wake up each morning and it's like Groundhog's Day. And that totally sucks because you hope everything's a dream and it's not. But that's enough about that. I'll share more later. I'll share as I go through the grieving process. I have made an appointment to meet with my therapist, so I'll be doing that soon. To spend a lot of time with my grandkids, which I don't normally get to do. My daughter has to sneak them to see me because her fiance doesn't like me. So for whatever reason, I get to spend 3 or 4 days with them. And even though this was the hardest trip home, it was something that I would never wish upon anybody. It was also one of the best trips home. Okay, Greg has an appointment. But it was really nice getting some gifts, some Amazon little gifts that you weren't expecting that honor my mom. So that's great. And then we have Erica. So that's Wednesday, and usually Wednesday we go to the laundromat too. So we'll put do laundry. Wednesday we'll do a midweek. And then we have nothing on Thursday the 15th, but on Friday the 16th, I need to get my B12 shot. Saturday the 17th, there is a craft fair that I hope I can go into. So use this one. Use it today. So we do laundry again, so we'll put a to-do. A little to do. Change the sheets. And then I have my YouTube post. So there is that. Is Greg's appointment at 9 a.m. So we'll put the time up here. And then September 16th, put the time up here. this one. So let me pop this back in my cleaner so that you can see my week. So here we are for Sunday, the September 11th, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, as it helps my channel out. And thank you for being patient with me while I spent time with my family and through the loss of my mom. And yeah, keep me in your prayers, because this is deep. This is very deep grief. And it's hard to navigate. Sometimes I feel like I'm on the outside of my body looking in at things. So yeah, it's not easily explainable, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done. But I'll heal. I'll get through it, because I can do hard things. So that is my week. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll be back soon with another crafty, cleaner, or beauty video.